just been more efficient these past 3 weeks?
I don't know. I feel like we all just been straining a little harder. Been running hard. All the backs been running hard. Kind of just, it gets colder in the season. People don't want to, hit you as much. That's usually how it goes.
Is the stud running back feeling healthier?
I feel pretty good. Pretty good.
Josh, we were talking about, whether you should or shouldn't play against the Vikings a couple weeks ago, and as it turns out now, you'll have one game in basically a month, right? Because you barely had the New York game. How much did that just help? I mean, how much fresher do you feel looking back at it now?
I want to say I feel just extremely fresher. This game is it's so physical, and then when you have the type of injury I did and getting hit by multiple people all the time, it's like it's gonna still kind of be there. It's just a thing that come with it. It's really just about kind of balancing it out, and still trying to be effective, really.
Is that knee thigh feeling much better at this point?
It's kind of the same, honestly. I mean, it feels good. Don't get me wrong. I can run a lot better than I could, that week. But I'm not gonna say it's gone. It's still there. But it's a part of it.
I feel like the O-line is really kind of moving guys these past couple weeks.
For sure. Like I said, it seems like guys straining a lot harder. We feel like the concepts that we've been putting together, and in the run game has made it a lot easier for a lot of guys, and we've been kind of just reaping the benefits of it.
As someone who's been such a big component of what Marshawn Lloyd can provide for this team, but obviously with the injuries derailing a good part of the first two seasons, just how cool is it for you to see him back out there and what he can bring?
Yeah, I know it's been big, especially for Marshawn, just being out on the field. I was trying to tell him, I'm like, man, don't come in and practice and just hit it 100%. Kind of find your rhythm a little bit and then progressively, run and be who you are. But I know for him, man, he hasn't played football in a long time, and I know he's eager and hungry to get back out there.
What do you feel like Anthony, Sean have given you on the middle, and even Meg's having some healthy weeks? Like it's a lot of size in the middle. Do you feel that when you run behind those guys?
I'm not gonna say I necessarily feel the size, but I definitely feel guys putting in a lot more effort on one going to the right blocks, but also straining on their blocks, giving the extra half a second or a second. Just to make sure the run game is clean, and then trusting me to know that if they gonna make a hole for me, that I'm hit it. So I mean, it's been good. I know it's definitely been different, with Sean at center, but I think he's adjusted really good, and I think he's been playing at a very high level.
Is there any thought to you not practicing during the week and just playing on Sunday to make your knee right?
Yeah, it's definitely talks, but I'm one of them people, like, I like to feel it. Like, I gotta know what I'm dealing with, what I'm saying, in a sense, because I feel like if I run and even if I feel it a little bit, like you kind of get used to it, what you expect. I don't want to go out there and then just be like, okay, damn, I'm feeling something and not really know how to handle it. So I like to get my reps in.
How much this week have you been looking at film of what the Bears do, just punching the ball out, ripping the ball out? They've had some really impressive takeaways that aren't just the normal punch-outs.
For sure. They lead the NFL in turnovers. So their defense, some's been give me's and some's been, really, really great plays, by their defense. So shout outs to them for that. But I don't plan on, giving the ball away. So we'll see how it goes.
You experienced it a couple times last year, this Bears-Packers rivalry. Do you now, a year into it, understand the magnitude of it? Does it get you more excited?
I think it's bigger this year than it was last year because they actually, a pretty decent team. So I think that, with them playing at a high level, obviously having a new coach and new energy and things like that in that building, that, I think they have more of a belief that they actually have a chance of, playing in this game. And when I say that, because, the record was something crazy, how many times they've won in a row. I think it's going to be a good game. At the end of the day, still don't like them. They don't like us, and it's going to be fun.
Is there a game this season or this year from the Bears that you watched that you said, okay, they really caught your attention? Was there a game this season when you saw that?
Honestly, I liked a lot. I watched a lot of it, of their games. I probably watched like 6 or 7 of their games. But, it's kind of different because a lot of the guys that was playing, 6 weeks ago are kind of not playing. Like, some of the linebackers, you don't know if they're going to be back or not. You know, like Tremaine Adams, he's a great player for their defense. You know, so the guys that's been in, they've been playing pretty well too. But you know, it's just different. We don't really know what to expect, what they're gonna give us from our looks and things like that. But I think we're ready.
Looking just, I know there's a lot going on yet. We'll see exactly how the week works out. But with Jaden being back at practice, what would that mean for him? Having him back available for a stretch run here.
Oh, I mean, he's he's an explosive player. He's a dynamic player. He's a guy that, a lot of people in this locker room respect. He brings, a certain type of energy and, a mentality to that receiver room, but not only to that receiver room, to the offense. I know he's itching to get back at it. I was talking to him today actually about, just making sure he get all the reps that he needs to feel like he can just go out there and play and not have to think or feel like he's missing a step and things like that. And he's had a hell of a week of practice. I think he's gonna be pretty good.
The Bears are up to 17 picks.
Yeah.
What are they doing differently that you can see as a defense in the last month or two from the team that you faced last year?
I think it's a lot of it is on, I feel like making the right protections. They sending some blitzes and, the quarterback is getting the ball out of his hands earlier than what he wants. And some of their guys are just making plays. Sometimes you also see, miscommunication between the receiver and the offense, and and they capitalizing on it, and that's still a big thing, because you can have a play and not make the play, so I mean, like I said, just shout outs to them. They've been really good on defense, especially with the turnover margin. I think that they almost double the next person, so like I said, that's good for them. That's the ultimate test for us as an offense, and I don't plan on giving the ball away, so we'll see.
Josh, you said your pops noticed in the Giants game that you were hurting.
Yeah.
Did he notice the hip in Detroit when he was watching too, and could see what was bothering you? I could see it again, right?
Yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah. He asked me, he was like, "Man, you was bleeding your leg. They didn't cover it up." I'm like, "Yeah, they covered it up. It was just bleeding through." Like it's just one of those things. Yeah, and I even talked to Branch about the hit. Obviously, I don't think it was malicious or anything like that. But I was just telling him, man, you got to be smart how you go about things, because this is a very physical game. You want to capitalize, maximize really, as long as you could play. And I'm just trying to tell him, protect yourself at the same time, but be smart. And it's one of those things where it was really nowhere else for me to go. He went low, and it was like it kind of was going to be what it was. So. It's just football. Sometimes plays like that happen.
So you're not going to change how you run?
No.
You're not going to spoon ass Jay. You're not going to miss practices.
Yeah.
This may be dumb because you still have to be able to flex your knee, but is there like a greater amount of padding? Like, if you're not going to change your behavior, is there anything you can do to lessen the impact on that so it doesn't keep happening?
Nah, it's just in one of them places. It's inevitable. It's going to happen either way. You put padding on it, it's not going to really make a difference. It's going to happen either way. It's more so about the mentality to want to finish and really taking care of your body to be able to be in the best conditioning or best shape possible when it's time to actually go. So, I mean, I'm not ducking no smoke, so we'll see how I go.
With all that said, how good did it feel to break one in Detroit?
Yeah, it felt weird, honestly. It felt weird. I kind of got in space. I'm like, oh, so what do I do? But man, it felt good. We just have a couple of big runs. Really, if you would have asked me, at halftime, what I would have thought, I thought it would have been a lot crazier just because of the first half of how it went. But we never complain with a win, and getting the yards per carry up. So I mean, we never gonna complain with that.
When you have a season like this, and it's been a while since you broke one, does that get kind of put in your mind a little like, okay, it's going to happen, but when is it going to happen?
I'm not gonna say it get put in my mind. I just try to be ready for when it do happen. I know it's eventually going to happen. It's one of those things where you just got to be ready for when it does, and really just try to maximize every opportunity.